somebody here. So, Michael, it's funny. I got 2 hours on this battery left. I might need to charge it. It's lasted for a long time. We're going to see if it makes it through tonight. But if not, we got a spare waiting just in case. I mean,
You don't have the other pack to that, do you?
the other what?
The other belt pack to that?
I only have one belt pack.
Okay, I know. We owned one too.
Mm-hmm.
And I know there was a point
Oh.
which we swapped some stuff.
Yeah, no,
I don't remember if the belt pack was part of that
Mm-mm.
or if I got that back.
Hey, what's up, Sid? No, the only thing I had was the other mic until I found this one in a box behind the piano. That was a great day. Who else is there? Hey, what's up, Tennyson? Oh, what's up, Price? Hey, Price. Thanks for saying hey too. Yes, and no, I finally have all the stuff. And we didn't have any crazy popping last week. Yeah, guys, we are having some like fun, random conversations with people in the room tonight. So enjoy all of this. Lena, how was the bike ride today? Oh, I can hear me. That's crazy. Hey, Sarah Osorio. I need to start typing. I need to do this thing. Michael, we got a fun game tonight that I think you should, and I think you will. It's Name That TV Dad, and
Like what show are they from?
you have to, it's
Or their actual name.
you have to get their TV name. So like you'll know the show and everything, but it's like no, what? I don't know. These are pretty easy. I think so. Oh, good, Lena. I'm glad. No crashes, nothing like that. Good deal.
Is Doug Dimmadome, owner of the Dimsdale Dimmadome, one of the dads?
I think that name comes up a time or two. I think so. Oh man.
A better price on a mid-size SUV. He'll eat his out. Fairly Odd Parents.
Yeah.
He's just like a TV person. He's like, I'm Doug Dimmadome, owner of the Dimsdale Dimmadome.
Tennyson, what you been doing today?
Rehearsing our music.
Ooh, Michael said, you better be rehearsing your music.
That's not what I said.
Pretty sure that's what I heard. That's not what he said. I promise. That's not what he said. I shouldn't say I promise, but.
I'm just going to get on there and comment.
She said, ha ha ha, I am. Don't worry. That's great. Ooh, it's Adam Perry. Hey, Adam Perry. That's so funny. Oh, man, guys, it's been a good day. So today, what have I done? I got up a little extra early this morning, did some yard work, shoveled some dirt, raked some dirt. That was a good exercise this morning when the boys were still sleeping. Then I ran into a super cool hub friend at a gas station. That was awesome. I think that was the first time in maybe months, Philip, that I've just like accidentally bumped into one of our hub students just out in the general public. And I'm so socially awkward that when I hear people call my name, I never actually think they're talking to me. So I'm very skeptical that when I hear something, I'm like, yeah, they're not actually saying hey to me. But this time they were, and it was so nice. So very, very excited to see one of our hub friends. And sorry for that awkward exchange of, wait, are you talking to me? You are saying hey to me. Oh, okay. Well, thanks. Hey, I'll come over. It was great. Geeky Girl 101. Yes, I changed my username. Oh dear. Oh man. So the problem is the profile picture is so small I can't tell who you actually are. So we'll just call you Geeky Girl 101. That would be great because I cannot tell. It's the other Smith. Ah, I see. Okay. Awesome. I got to get caught up, man. I'm missing some folks. Sorry, I'm over here just having my own little conversations. And who did I miss so far? We got Geeky Girl. We got Lena. The Adam Perry. He said this is my last meeting. I think you mean this is your last meeting for today, which that should be the case. You shouldn't have any other meetings after this. That would be bad. Um, Bella Perry with the question of the week. We need to make this like a feature moment. Bella Perry's question of the week. Frank, who is your favorite Disney character? That is a great question, and I'm gonna think on that for a couple more seconds because I don't want to just go right off the top. I want to make sure I think this through. Favorite Disney movie is kind of easy. Um, oh, Adam is officially protesting Hub until he gets his prize. Probably fair. I'm gonna need you to write an imaginary P in the sky like the baseball peoples do. And hey, Stranger Lynn, what's up? Oh man, great. Favorite Disney character. All right, so I immediately went to like the crab on Little Mermaid. That one. Because like I'm old school Disney. I don't really. It's hard for me to know like who does Disney now if it's not just a Disney movie. Because these people are saying like Pixar's a part of it, which I mean, sure, but to me that's Pixar, not really Disney, right?
If it's called by a different name, how can it be something else?
Disney owns everything, so.
Ownership doesn't mean
But I know, but like, I
I
mean,
thought consider Sebastian old school Disney. That's 91.
Michael, that was almost 30 years ago.
Right.
That's
Disney's
old.
trying to make it Disney in the 20s.
Well, yeah, but you know,
Disney would be like Steamboat Willie.
I don't know, Bella. Man, favorite Disney character, and then there's man, I don't know. That's a hard one. I don't think I got an answer. See, technically Marvel is Disney, so like, what am I supposed to do with that? If technically Marvel,
Star Wars.
so oh man, see, to me, I think when you say Disney, I still think cartoon. So it's hard for me to say, hey, well, I mean, Marvel's Disney, so I can pick like some really cool hardcore guys, but I don't really consider them, Disney. I don't know. Jiminy Cricket was Pinocchio Disney. That whale was pretty awesome. That whale was like came out of nowhere. Somebody find that out. Did the whale in Pinocchio have a name? First one to comment wins a virtual high five since I can't pay up any real debts. Scoggin still is owed some Chick-fil-A. I mean, the original Disney. Oh, goodness, Bill. Oh, goodness. What is the whale's name in Pinocchio? That has to be a thing, right? What was the old man's name?
That'd be a dangerous search. That movie has cussing.
That's true.
Yeah, I got the name, so I know what the answer is.
Is it appropriate?
Yeah, it's
Oh, what's up, Keehan? It is Keehan, right? Oh, I got 7 o'clock.
I was also right. There is a name.
There is a name for it. Okay, cool. Yeah, I would have to Google that for sure. I would. There's no way. What's the old man's name?
Geppetto?
That's it. Papa. Yeah. Is it Monstro?
Right.
Good job, Adam Perry. He's gonna kill the games tonight. He's gonna straight crush the dad game that we're about to do. Geppetto, is that spelled correctly? That's the other. Yeah. Throwing a flag on your spelling, Adam, but I wouldn't know. So that I can barely speak, much less spell. But at any rate, almost there. You almost had it. Hey, everybody. Well, hey, I'm glad you guys are here tonight. Thanks for hopping on the stream and checking us out for, is this the last Wednesday of May? Are we officially in the last Wednesday of May? No, we got 5 Wednesdays this month then, or something like that. Okay, cool. We're in the last Wednesday of this series, Atypical. So it's kind of throwing me off. Normally, like, we try to time it right. So this one's a little weird, which would be fun. Hey guys, you still have some time if you want to text a friend, get them to hop on with you. As we do every week, we need at least one of the 4 Carsons that we have on the stream. So somebody start texting Carson, White, Ramirez, Collier. Pick a Carson, get him on the stream. Somebody get a Walker and Friends on. Somebody get another Eli. I'm glad we have Gamer Smith, but there's also 3 other Elis that we could get on the stream. That'd be kind of cool if we can have more than one Eli. That would be awesome. But anyway, you got time. So we're going to wrap up our talk tonight from Atypical, looking at toward the end of Genesis at a family. Again, man, like these families that we've been talking about, the siblings are just awful to each other. So you got time. We'll get to that in just a little bit if you want to text somebody and get them ready. But before we do that, in the spirit of all things family, and since that's been kind of the big deal that we've talked about over the last few weeks, I think we have one more game that we should play. And this game specifically has to do with TV dads because TV dads are the best. I have a rub with how a lot of our, at least modern TV series depicts dads, and really, I'm going to be honest, just depicts males in general. Really have an issue with some of that. But tonight we're not going to pick on those things. We're just going to have some fun with some of these TV dads. And the whole point of this particular game is just to show one, how messed up some of these families really were and kind of are, and then how much we actually have in common with so many of these things, because that's what we've been seeing through Scripture, that every family has issues, and our culture, our society, Hollywood has made millions of dollars on just pointing out the obvious tensions amongst families. So sometimes at the expense of some of our own experiences. All right, so here we go. Here's how it's going to work. I'm going to pop up a picture of a TV family with a little bit of a clue. It might be hard to read, but that's okay. I'm going to read it for you. You comment in the comment section that TV dad's name. It'll be really easy. You'll understand as soon as you see this first one. This middle-class TV dad isn't just trying to get by. What the heck is his name? So can you comment in the comment section, what is this TV dad's name? All right. What is his name? It's from the show The Middle. What is his name? Now, these aren't going to be like gimmies, okay? I mean, I'm gonna have to make some of you think. Some of these would be really easy. Geeky Girl, I have absolutely no idea. What is his name? See, Adam Perry, I'm surprised that you're slow to answer here, man. You're normally pretty quick. I'm going to give you a couple more seconds, and then I'm going to show you the answer. Who is this TV dad? We're looking for TV dad name, not his actual real life name, because that's no fun. Michael, you have no idea either? You don't know this one?
I got it.
Oh, you do got it. Okay. I'll give you a clue. Part of his name is actually in the clue. Like, what's in the middle? Mike Heck. There it is, Keehan. Good job, Keehan. That is the correct name. Mike Heck. Bell's like, what's in the middle? I'm like, what are you talking about? What's in the middle? That's the name of the show. Yeah. All right. So now you know how this game works. Let's play another one. This one would be kind of easy. Keehan, keep score at home. You're up 1-0 across the board. All right. Here's the next one. Sometimes we think our dad's a monster. Well, this TV dad actually is. What is this TV dad's real name? Let's see who gets this one first. Who's quick on the keyboard? Eddie Munster, the Adam Perry, Herman Munstay. Let's see if we get some more answers in. Let's see what we get. You guys keep guessing. We'll see if we get a right answer somewhere. Bella says she loves this show, which is not the answer, but I'm really glad that you're affirming the show. Gamer Smith, Herman Munster. There we go. Yeah, so spelling is important, Eli, and the R significantly changes the name there. I mean, so great. That's so great. It's okay, Eli. It runs in the family. Don't worry, buddy. All right, here's the next one. We kid because we care, and we love you guys. So here's the next one. And his name isn't Ray Romano, but you love this TV dad. What is this TV dad's name? His name isn't Ray Romano, but you do love him anyway. So what is this TV dad's name? Ooh, Bradley Smith with the Joe. See if we get some more answers in here. Let's see what else we get. I'm going to give you guys a couple of folks an opportunity to send a name in. Bradley, is that a dinosaur? That looks like a dinosaur on your profile picture. That's kind of cool. Joe Mama. Joe who? Yes. I love this little dialogue that's happening here with Bradley and Lena. That's pretty funny. Here we go. The answer is, unless anybody else wants to jump in real quick. No. It's Ray. How do you say that last name?
Barone.
Barone. There it is. Good job, Adam Perry. You got another one right. So we got a Gamer Smith with 1. We got an Adam Perry with 1. We have a Keyhand with 1. So we have 3 1s and 0s across the board, if I'm keeping score correctly. You don't think that's right?
His name's Frank.
I mean, technically in this picture, there's 3 different dads, so I don't know which one they're going for.
Oh, they're talking about the main guy.
There you go. Michael's got it now. So, what was that noise?
That was something hitting a wall.
Okay. Hey, guys, what's really funny? Me and Michael and Philip are in here hanging out doing the stream, and something outside the hub it sounded like it exploded. Not really sure what that was, and I'm not going to check. Perfectly fine with whatever just happened. I don't smell smoke, and I don't think there's a fire, so we're good. And yes, Adam, I did take the dime out of the thermostat when I cooled off the hub earlier today. Don't worry about that. Here's your next clue. Love this show growing up. You may have read about this real life TV dad in elementary school from the Little House on the Prairie. What was this TV dad's name? Come on, guys, you can do this. I believe in you. I'm pretty sure somebody's shooting fireworks. Or yeah, we got some Charles Ingalls. We have some Charles Ingalls, aka Michael Landon. That's his name, Charles Ingalls. That's his name in real life. Man, we got all the right stuff. We got our dudes going to investigate. This is some really interesting noise happening outside. Here's the answer, Charles Ingalls. There it is. Good job, Tennyson, with the first right answer. Give yourself a point. Here is the next TV dad from the show Home Improvement. This Toolman TV dad was always improving with the tools in the shop. Oddly enough, I was not allowed to watch this show growing up. Not really sure why. Tim something or Alan, geeky girl. That's funny. Tim Taylor says Adam Perry. Timothy Taylor says Bradley. We all know it's one of those. Michael Taylor, Tim Taylor, Tim the Tollman Taylor. That's funny. Toolman Taylor. There again, it changes, Adam. Spelling's important. Here we go. The right answer is Tim Taylor. The first time I see Tim Taylor appears with the Adam Perry. So good job, Adam Perry. Give yourself another point. You're on your way to maybe 2 prizes that would be probably back ordered until August. But here we go. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. You can sing the song, but what was this TV dad's name? What was the dad's name in good old Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? Another show I didn't get to watch a whole lot of. Let's see who can come up with it first. What's up, Blake Brown? Uncle Phil, Adam says. Now I have the song in my head. Philip, Gamer Smith says. Blake says Phil. I heard it again. It's very interesting.
That door.
It sounded like that door.
Really? Hey guys, it's crazy. The noises that we're hearing in the hub are unlike we've ever heard before, except for that one time the baseball players were shooting off fireworks inside the dugout. That was a good day on campus. You talking about sounding a non-alarm alert around here. Let's shoot off some fireworks. But that's okay. Hey, baseball dudes watching. It's all good, man. No worries. It was perfectly fine. Blake stole my answer. Here we go. Here's the answer to this one. It is Philip Banks. No one put the last name, but a couple of you guys said Philip. And here's what I'm going to do. Gamer Smith, I'm giving you the point because you actually put Philip, and Philip is on the screen as the right answer. So Uncle Phil is not wrong, but Philip is more right. Philip is his name. Uncle Phil's what they called him. So Eli Smith with the point, and Adam Perry's losing his mind, and this is great. I love a controversy. This is so good. What's up, Heather? Here's, I think, the last one for tonight. Do I even have to say anything about this one? What is this TV dad's name? Let's see what we got. Who's going to be first? Homer. Oh, Gamer Smith comes in. Oh, this is like a last lap crash at Talladega where you think you got the win and you put the answer in and you hit a period instead of what you really should type, and somebody out of nowhere screams across the finish line first. Let's see. This is so good. Adam, I can see Adam just throwing things across the house right now. Couches are flying. The cat probably just got tossed out the window. I mean, just so many things going wrong right here. Let's see. Keehan says no. Keehan says, Frank, look higher. Frank, look up. Okay. I'm looking up. I see Adam Perry with the Homer Simpson. And then right after, I see Eli with the right answer. What am I missing? Keehan, tell me what I'm missing. You told me to look higher, but I don't see any Homer Simpson higher than Adam Perry coming in first, but trying, and then has a tire blowout in turn 4, and then Eli comes in right after that. Let's see. What am I missing, Keehan? Hey, what's up, Emily? Welcome. Keehan says he got it first. Really? Well, how about that, Keehan? Let's see here. Actually, Keehan, according to my chat window that I have on this gigantic TV screen right here, the order that I have shows. I'm going to read what I have in the comments. I got Tennyson saying, "Hey, Heather." I got Adam saying, "Protest." Gamer Smith saying, "Take that, Adam." Heather saying, "Hey, Tennyson." Adam giving his answer, Homer Simpson. Eli putting Homer Simpson. Bella saying Homer Simpson. Keehan, I have you coming in after Bella. What am I missing? I don't know what TWT bro means, but not real sure. I think Eli takes that one, at least according to my chat, unless I'm really missing it. But anyways, hey, that was a fun game. I like anytime I can. Oh man, Adam saying, "Look at my text." Oh goodness. I wonder if my chat window shows something different than your chat windows. I think it does. That's kind of cool. Huh. Let's see here. Yeah, no, I don't see Keehan coming in first on the Homer Simpson. I see him coming in, but not ahead of everybody. Keehan, you know every game is rigged. You know that, right? I mean, you know that. No, R says the same. Oh, okay. I see. Now I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Got it. What's up, Trey? What's up, man? That is Trey, right? Making sure I get that right. Mine says Eli got it. I'm seeing that too, but I'm also highly distracted because I'm pretty sure gunshots are happening, or fireworks. Fireworks. People across the lawn are celebrating Adam's loss. Back in the woods, really. Oh, that's great. That's awesome. Adam says, "I quit. Always the Smith that wins." I know, man, because it's so many of them. I mean, I know, right? We lost one of our tech guys tonight. He just went on a hike in the woods to find out who in the world is shooting fireworks off. But that should be fun times. Hey, anyway, guys. Hey, it's always good to be able to get together, even if it's like this, which we all admit is not ideal and not nearly as fun as a real night in the room together. But I'm glad that you guys are committed and still hanging out and doing things. Really do appreciate you guys. And man, I miss you guys like crazy. Let me give you a couple announcements before we get into our talk tonight. And like I said, you still have time to text a friend or to shoot somebody a message. Say, "Hey, hop on the stream real quick. We haven't started the Bible study just yet, but we're about to. So you got time. But let me give you guys a couple of updates. One, hopefully in the next week or two, the look and feel of our stream will change a little bit. Myself and a couple of our pastors have been working really hard to get better equipment, Michael, would you say, to help really streamline what we do and make it all, and the way I like to say it from the county, all the more better, and should be able to have a lot more fun and have a nice, cleaner set when we get this stuff, which would be super cool. That's announcement one. Announcement two, thank you to all of you wonderful humans out there who I reached out to about sending in just a quick little video devotional, quick video word of encouragement. I've been getting those in today and yesterday, and I really appreciate that. Here's the goal behind it. I really want to make sure that all of our hub students and our families and just the people that follow us on Instagram are encouraged and are moved and motivated. And guys, a lot of times your voice carries a whole lot more weight than even some adults around here. So like I want to make sure that you're also heard, but also sharing what God's doing with you and what God's teaching you and how you've grown and how you've been challenged and where you feel like things have been difficult and how you've come out from that. So big shout out to Emily Proctor. She was episode 1 today on our Instagram feed. So thank you, Emily, for getting that to me. We got another one dropping tomorrow and then another one on Saturday. If I've reached out to you guys, go ahead and get those things sent into me so we can get you queued up and ready. My goal, like my vision behind this, is to be able to do like one every single day. We might have to skip a couple of days, but it's okay. It's not a big deal. If you're still working on it, like don't sweat it. It's perfectly fine. I just want like I know God is teaching you guys and working in your heart, and I want to hear it, but I also want everybody else to be able to hear it. So anyway, that was kind of the big motivation behind it. If I sent you a text, and if I haven't sent you a text, don't worry. There's a good chance your time's coming because I want to get a couple of these stacked up and ready, and then in the next week or so, I'll be reaching out to the rest of you and say, hey, I need you to film, a 2-minute, real quick, video on your phone talking about how God's worked in your heart over the last couple of days. So don't feel bad if you haven't gotten a text from me. I just reached out to a few just to get us started. So no worries there. All right. And then the next thing for Hub Summer, guys, look, man, this whole COVID stuff is just, it is a mess of all things, right? And it is really challenging us as a ministry, us as a youth group, us as a church to figure out what's not just the best way or the right way, but what's the wise way to interact and to continue doing some of our ministries around here. So I just want to give you an update on Hub Summer right now. We're waiting until we're able to church again on campus, which should prayerfully be 1st of June sometime. And once we get through having church on campus again, then us and the pastors will keep looking at what the CDC is recommending and kind of how our hearts are feeling about what is the wise thing to do with your interests in mind. Like we really take seriously how we keep you safe and not taking any risks that would say are unnecessary, but also not just being so afraid to not do anything. So just be patient with us, all right? I appreciate you guys understanding and all that. And my hopeful goal is that we're able to hub something in the summertime. That could be late June, that could be July, which is fine, right? It's going to be different. It's going to look different. It's going to feel different. I was talking to one of our students today. I was like, I have a vision for like mini hub meetups throughout the summer if we can pull that off. So like mini hub meetups, just little small pods, popping up, meeting at different places. We got a little bit of time before we can start announcing some of that stuff though officially. So just be patient with us. Let's do this though. Let's commit as a student ministry to pray and to really, really look forward to the time that as a whole church body, we can come back on our campus on a Sunday morning and worship together. To me, that is of most importance that the entire body can be back together. So be praying for that, Hub students. Like pray for that moment, that domino to fall where as a collective body, as a collective church family, we can come back on our campus on a Sunday morning and sing songs to Jesus and open his word and learn and grow together. And then the dominoes after that will fall when it comes to when we can get together as a hub ministry. All right. So there's your little update there. And yes, Keehan, I do agree with maybe to Bradley that time for an upgrade. All right. So let's do this. Let's pray. And if you don't mind, and after we pray, we'll kind of dive into some of our talk tonight. And that'll be that. Let me say a prayer for us. God, thank you for tonight. Thank you for a few minutes to be able to gather with our students to, interact in a way that is really difficult when it comes to trying to be personal and grow and maintain meaningful relationships. But God, you are so much bigger than we can even imagine, and you're able to do things in our hearts and minds that even something like a COVID can't stop. So Lord, would you continue to knit us together? Would you continue to strengthen us as a ministry? Would you forge the friendships that we have with one another to make them stronger through this? And in these moments that we're able to have tonight or in moments throughout the weeks ahead, the way that we can get together with each other. Would you allow those moments to be sweet, allow those moments to be encouraging and uplifting, and all of that. Lord, we just pray for tonight. Teach us through your word, and we pray these things in Christ's name. Amen. All right. So here's what we want to do. We want to wrap up tonight with our series on atypical. And just to catch you up, in case you've missed the last few weeks, or maybe tonight's your first night ever tuning in, or if you're like me and you're not really even sure what we talked about last week, because I can't remember what I ate yesterday, kind of the big overarching picture that we've talked through are how different families in the Bible had major issues, right? We talked about Adam and Eve. We talked about Abraham. Last week, we talked about a couple of brothers, Jacob and Esau. So like we've seen these different families, and what I've tried to do with you guys is pick out, here's what made these families pretty normal. And I say normal meaning like they had problems, right? Some of their problems were really significant. Like we've talked about some hard stuff, especially with a few of these families where like murder was involved. That's a big deal. Okay. But then some of the families that we've looked at, guys, had some issues that you and your family or you and other friends deal with jealousy or deceit or lies, things of that nature. So we've tried to show you, hey, these families have problems. We've all admitted that all of our families have problems because we all live in a broken, fallen, sinful world. We all live under the effects of sin. And we've also said that, hey, God hasn't left you or your family hopeless in that situation. And that's been where we've tried to encourage you guys most, of just knowing that your family, your situation is not hopeless, even though your family may have some significant tensions or issues that you're dealing with. All right. So that's kind of where we've been. Tonight, we want to wrap up with another family with a whole lot of things going on, a big sibling rivalry, if you will, and how these brothers just said, you know what, enough of him and all of his favoritism from dad. We're going to get rid of this kid. And, then all of our problems will be gone. So let's do this. Let's go as Genesis chapter 37. If you got a Bible on your phone, or if you got one like this handy, go ahead and take that guy out. Go to Genesis chapter 37. That's where we're going to start. We're going to kind of read a couple of verses here and then jump over to another section and read a little bit more. So I want to introduce you to Joseph and some of this relationship dynamic that he has with his family. All right. So let's do this. Let's go to verse 1 and let's read verses 1 through 4 and then verse 8 and verse 11. All right. Genesis 37, verse 1 says, Now Jacob lived in the land of his fathers, sojournings in the land of Canaan. And these are the generations of Jacob. And Joseph, being 17 years old, was pasturing the flock with his brothers. He was a boy with the sons of Bilhah and Zilpah and his father's wives. And Joseph brought a bad report of them to their father. Now Israel loved Joseph more than any of his other sons, because he was the son of his old age. But he made him he made him a robe of many colors. But when his brothers saw that their father loved him more than all his brothers, they hated him and could not speak peacefully to him. So some things we learned real quick. Joseph has a lot of other siblings. Dad really, really likes him more than all the other ones because this was the son that he had when he was old. And to kind of show Joseph how much more he loves him and appreciates him and has affection for him, he makes them this robe, this coat of many colors. You may have heard as a kid growing up, this big story of Joseph's coat of many colors. I kind of want to know what that looks like. Is this the first moment that tie-dye ever came out? I'm looking over here because I have a person over here, so I'm just kind of looking for affirmation that maybe this is that first moment of tie-dye. Maybe this was maybe dad was this really cool artist and just threw paint on stuff and kind of had this paint splatter effect that we're now all trying to recreate thanks to Pinterest. I don't know. I want to know how this coat of many colors came about. Did it look remember the zebra gum stuff? You remember that? Like, it's just all these colors just kind of striped out. I don't know. I'm not the creative one or the artsy one. Heather's more of that. So she probably has a much more vivid picture in her mind of what this coat looked like than I do. But I'm really curious. Here's the important part. His brothers hated him because of that stupid coat. Like, all because dad gave him a really nice gift like that. Brothers hated him. Now, verse 8 kind of affirms some of that. His brothers said to him, Are you indeed to reign over us? Are you indeed to rule over us? So they hated him even more for his dreams and his words. Guys, look, if you're new to this story in scripture, Joseph had some dreams that foreshadowed some events that are going to happen years and years down the road, okay? We're not going to read that because it takes chapters of Genesis to really unfold this story. But Joseph starts having these dreams where he, being the younger in the family, would be ruling over all the older brothers in the family, and that's not normal back then. That's not how things worked back in this day. And when he told this dream to his family, they're like, "Oh no, sir, that's not how it works. Like, you're forgetting, you're the youngest. You're going to serve us, not us serve you." So that created some hostility in their hearts. And then verse 11, it gets a little bit even more serious because Joseph had another dream and he told his family about this dream. Verse 11, his brothers were jealous of him, but his father kept this saying in his mind. All right, we're just painting a picture here, guys, of how this family of siblings really, really doesn't like Joseph. Dad clearly showing favoritism to this one kid, and this kid's having dreams that, like, man, one day my family is going to like bow down to me. Like, I'm gonna be ruling over my family. I'm not real sure what that means, but that's kind of cool. I'm very excited about that. The rest of the family, not so much. I'm not really defending tonight what Joseph's brothers eventually do to him, but we can all admit, and I think it's okay to admit, that Joseph maybe was a touch arrogant and a little bit obnoxious. Okay, let's just all admit that, and we can let that be that. Even if he was or is a little arrogant or slightly obnoxious, what happens next is really not the way to handle it. Okay, so let's jump ahead a little bit. Genesis 37. Let's go over to verse 18, and let's look at how not to handle somebody who's being a touch arrogant or a little bit obnoxious. Okay, this is an idea, but it's clearly the wrong idea of how to handle this thing. Verse 18 says, when they saw him, that's Joseph, from afar, before he came near, they, the brothers, conspired to kill him. All right, again, this is the way not to handle this situation. And they said to one another, here comes this dreamer. Let's kill him and throw him into one of the pits out here in the field. Then we will say that some fierce animal has devoured him, and we will see what will become of his dreams. So they get this idea of, we'll just kill him, make up this wild tale that a wild animal just murderlates him out in the field. That's what we'll tell mom and dad, and then let's see what all these dreams, what happens with all the dreams that he's been having. Verse 21, when Reuben, one of the brothers, heard it, he rescued him out of their hands. He said, let's not take his life. Pump the brakes, brothers. Like, hold on. I know you're highly annoyed by all of his antics here lately, but let's not kill him. All right. That's a little extreme. I got a better idea. Okay. Let's not take his life. Let's shed no blood. Instead, throw him into this pit here in the wilderness, but don't lay a hand on him, that he might rescue him out of their hands to restore him to his father. So when Joseph came to his brothers, they stripped him of his robe, that colorful one that dad gave. They took him, threw him into a pit, and the pit was empty, and there was no water in it. So they sat down to eat. It gets really weird right here, guys. All right. So they sat down to eat. They just took their brother, threw him into a giant pit, and now they're having a snack, basically. And looking up, they saw this caravan of Ishmaelites coming from Gilead with their camels bearing gum and balm and myrrh on their way to carry it to Egypt. And Judah said to his brothers, well, hey, what profit it if we kill our brother and conceal his blood? Let us instead sell him to the Ishmaelites, and let not our hand be upon him, for he's our brother. He's our own flesh. You know what? He's our flesh and blood, guys. We can't kill him. Let's just do the right thing and let's sell him to the Ishmaelites, because that's better than just killing him. Let's just sell him. That's a good idea. Let's make some money off of them. Great idea. Again, we're looking at the not right way to handle the situation. So we got a terrible idea that has now slightly downgraded to just a really, really bad idea. Okay, we're not going to kill them, but we're going to sell them into slavery, basically. I mean, neither one of those are good. Okay, again, not the right way to handle this. But their brothers listened to them. Into verse 27. And then the Midianite traders passed, and they drew Joseph up. They lifted him out of the pit, sold him to the Ishmaelites for 20 shekels of silver. That's a great price. They took Joseph to Egypt, and the rest of verses 29 through 36 talk about how the brothers got back home and told mom and dad this big tale of what happened. They even like killed a goat and dipped his robe in it so they could in some way make this story believable when they showed mom and dad, like, hey, dad, here's this coat. It's all ripped and torn and there's blood all over it. Like, dude, man, we're really sorry. Like, he's dead. No, he's not dead. He's on a buggy headed to Egypt right now. That's where he is. But dad bought it. All right. Dad was super sad, actually. He wept for his son. If you read verse 35, thus his father wept for him, like wept. And guys, I wish, and this story is not one that you can just tell in one night, right? I mean, this whole tale isn't something that we can adequately cover in this section. So I really encourage you guys, read chapters 39 through 40, 748. Like, read that big chunk that we can't cover tonight, because it shows how God, even through this terrible act that this group of brothers did to Joseph, how God used that situation and did something amazing through it. Like, there's this amazing rise to power that Joseph goes through throughout the course of the next few chapters, which I'm sure covers many, many, many years. So this wasn't something that God just fixed overnight. This wasn't something that God addressed next month. This wasn't something that God just took care of in a matter of 1 year. I mean, we're talking potentially decades worth of time that goes past. But God never left him hopeless. God never abandoned him. There's something very, very useful for you and I to remember as you read through these middle chapters in Genesis, that even though what Joseph went through and is experiencing is terrible, God was slowly redeeming those acts to do something good with. All right. This is where we're trying to build to tonight. So we got to jump ahead just a little bit to chapter 50. Because many of you, some of you, maybe not all of you, kind of know how this story really ends, where Joseph goes from being a slave to actually being in charge. It's this crazy tale, man, where he has this dream when he's a kid of, man, one day people are going to bow down to me, and one day people are going to kind of serve under me. That's really awesome, but I don't know what that means, and I don't really know how I'm going to get there. And I'm pretty sure he never really considered that having his death faked by his brothers and being sold to a group of people on a caravan was part of that story. But needless to say, that was part of the story, right? Well, now he's in charge. He is high in command in Egypt, and there's this great famine that gets started up, and he's having to make really tough decisions on how to store up food and preserves to get this entire nation through a drought and a famine. And lo and behold, guess who comes walking up one day to try to get some help, to try to ask for provisions? His brothers. And you know what's crazy, and again, read it for yourself, they don't even recognize him because it's been so long. They don't even recognize him because they're convinced that he's dead or something else happened to him. Like, he, the brother, is of no thought to them when they come. It's crazy. But we need to read at least Joseph's response to all of this, all right? So not only did his brothers come like desperately seeking help, and not only did Joseph give that help and like save the lives of his brothers and his families, but he did something else. Let's read it together now. Then I'll show you. Let's just read it. So verse 15. When Joseph's brothers saw that their father was dead and said, it may be that Joseph will hate us and pay us back for all the evil that we did to him. So they sent a message to Joseph saying, your father gave this command before he died. Say to Joseph, please forgive the transgression of your brothers and their sin, because they did evil to you. And now please forgive the transgression of the servants of the God of your father. And Joseph wept when they spoke to him. His brothers also came and fell down before him and said, behold, we are your servants. But Joseph said to them, do not fear, for I am in the place, or he says, do not fear, for am I in the place of God? As for you, listen to this. As for you, you meant evil against me, but God meant it for good to bring it about that many people should be kept alive as they are today. So don't fear. I'll provide for you and your little ones. And he comforted them and spoke kindly to them. All of those dreams that Joseph had when he was a little kid came true. All of those dreams. The brothers come, the brothers bow down, the brothers say, hey, we are your servants. Please, please, like, forgive us. Like, they're begging basically for their life in this moment. And Joseph's like, hey, guys, what you meant, like, you clearly meant it for evil. Like, you meant to kill me. Thanks, Reuben, for not letting that happen, but you meant to sell me into slavery. Like, you meant for all of those things. You didn't intend for any of this good to happen. But you know what? Even through those acts, God every single day was strengthening me and redeeming the situation for this very moment. And guys, I wish we had the time to talk through the spiritual fortitude that Joseph has. Because you want to do a deep dive into the character of what resilience looks like and faithfulness looks like and steadfastness looks like, go to Joseph. Like, start reading through some of those character traits that he exhibited, not just through a couple of days or a couple of weeks of a bad time, years worth of struggle and tension and misgivings and lies and all sorts of stuff. And yet he stayed true and faithful and firm. Like, man, and he had this spiritual maturity to be able to say, hey, what you did, you meant it for wrong. And you know what? God meant it to good so that I could save many people in this very moment. It was amazing. Here's what Joseph did. He chose forgiveness instead of bitterness. And I want to pause right here because I need your help, okay? How do you explain or how do you define bitterness? Like, what really is bitterness? Put it in the comments because I want to see some of this for the next few minutes. What is bitterness? And before you type in jealousy, don't use that word because that's a different word. And I think it has a very different meaning. So if you're tempted to type bitterness is like a jealousy thing, rethink that real quick because I really want to hit like what would bitterness actually be. Type it in the comments because I want to see where we go with this. Joseph wasn't bitter. He never let that emotion creep into his heart and fester and get into his life. Instead, he had this great heart of forgiveness toward his family. But how do you guys see it? How do you define, how do you explain bitterness? I kind of want some feedback on that. Geek Girl says it's holding a grudge. All right, let's build on it. You guys keep typing some stuff in. I admittedly, this is a Frank Bowden problem that I admit. I'm a really good grudge holder. It takes me a little extra time to get over things. All right, I know that is something that I've got to work on. It's something that is very easy for me for somebody to not really do anything seriously wrong against me. Like, you don't really have to do much for me to be like, oh, I'll hold on to that for years. And one day I will get you back for that. And so I had that problem. I know I had that problem. So yeah, Moreland, a little bit of holding a grudge. Gamer Smith said it's not letting something go. It's being hateful even after apologizing. Yeah, I think Eli, you're kind of onto something there with it's hard for you to move past or to move on. And even if there was some sort of exchange of trying to like make amends, you still want to hang on to it. Tennyson said it's kind of like holding a grudge against things they did to them in this time in life, and not really forgiving them. Yeah, it's that factor of, I mean, you did something to me, and I'm not going to let you go from that. I think there's more that, right? I mean, there's something more than just you not being able to move on. There's got to be some more emotions attached to it, I think. Let's see. Emily says it's anger mixed with something, but I'm not exactly sure what. I like that, Emily. I don't really know what it is, but it's anger plus. Because I think now we're starting to get to it, right? Where oh, hang on. Emily says, Keehan, that's good. Let me look up. Keehan says, someone who gains an emptiness in one's heart over a sensitive issue in their lives. Ooh, an emptiness. So is my bitterness towards somebody really an emptiness in my own life? That's Keehan, you're getting a really good face from the Michael who's in front of me, which means he kind of likes that. So I'm gonna let that definition sink in for a little bit. and emptiness in one's heart over a sensitive issue in their life. That's cool. I like that. Yeah, 2 claps there. Bradley's, you wish bad stuff upon whoever or whatever harmed you. Yeah, there's probably some retribution like feelings toward there, like, you know what? I hope you get hit by a bus today. And yeah, that could be a little bit of bitterness. But Emily, I think where my brain was going, there's the grudge plus something, right? It's not just that I can't get over it, but I have these other emotions tethered to this bitterness that are, I think, the things that actually keep me rooted or grounded from being able to move on. I can move on from stuff, and usually the things that I let go of real quick are the things I have no emotional connection to. Right? You know, I got very little emotion and like involved in this thing, or it really doesn't register in a deep part of my soul. So like, yeah, whatever. And then for whatever reason, I feel like the times where I get most bitter, and I'll be honest with you guys, like bitterness is probably something we all struggle with, myself included, but don't know to call it bitterness. There's probably a lot of us that struggle with this, but may want to call it something different and not really understand, or maybe not be fully aware that it's bitterness what we're dealing with, not maybe just a jealousy issue or something else. So um, just a thought there. But I know for me, when I'm feeling most bitter, like when someone does something to me and I don't want to let it go, it's usually because I'm struggling somewhere else, and the bitterness character is just a manifestation of something already going on in my life. So I'm probably already angry at something, or I'm probably already feeling empty somewhere else, and that one thing was the thing that allows this bitterness to start to fester. But Joseph never does that, right? I mean, he never goes to this emotion of bitterness. He immediately goes to forgiveness, which brings us to something that we read way, way, way later in the Bible. So, I mean, we're in Genesis here, but if we were to jump a long way in time ahead to Matthew chapter 18, Jesus preached this sermon to a group of his followers. We read some of that last week about, how to have tough conversations with folks. And we're going to read a little bit more of this story or from this sermon in Matthew 18, where Peter comes up to him and said to him, Lord, how often should will my brother sin against me and I forgive him? He's asking a question. Okay, if Michael offends me, how many times do I forgive Michael for offending me? Is it 3? Is it 7? Like, at what point am I allowed to stop forgiving him for offending me? That's basically what Peter's asking, right? So, um, as many as 7 times, maybe. Like Peter kind of throws a number out there. He's like, I'm going to throw a number. I'm going to get us started, Jesus. So is it 7? And Jesus said to him, I don't say to you 7 times, but 77 times. And again, Jesus isn't saying to Peter, oh no, I mean, you're only short by like 70. It's 77 times. He's not actually given a specific number. Jesus is given an illustration here of as many as it takes. Like, there's never a moment where I should look at Michael or Philip or my kids or any of you guys or random dude across the street that, pulled out in front of me. I don't know. Like, there should never be a moment where I say, oh, that was the last time. I'm not forgiving you anymore. You know, the, Jesus, he's saying here to Peter, is like, hey, Peter, that forgiveness factor, it doesn't work that way. There's not an end number on it, right? Jesus goes on to tell this parable about a man who was forgiven of like a huge financial debt, and like really, really big financial debt. And forgiveness was not something that he deserved, but he received it. And someone asked this man to forgive them of their debt, like, hey, I'm really, really sorry. I'm in a pinch right now. Can you forgive this debt? And the guy's like, absolutely not. Pay up. Like, whoa, man. Like, hold on. You just received something that you clearly didn't deserve, and someone forgave you of your debt, and you're not willing to, help someone else out and forgive their debt. It's a really interesting parable there in Matthew that you guys should go read, because the point was, whoa, like something that you didn't deserve was forgiven, and you should be willing to pay that forward. Kind of giving a reminder to us of how many times, guys, is God forgiving you How many times has God forgiven me for the same old thing over and over again, right? Psalms talks about how long suffering God is, and just this overwhelming commitment. Like, no, like I'm constantly going to forgive this thing. Like, I'm going to redeem you day by day by day by day. Like, come on, like, so like we see the struggle for us that we're really quick to stop. And Jesus is trying to, in this case here with Peter, remind him, no, man, like there's not an end to this forgiveness. That's the kind of forgiveness that God has shown to us. It's the same kind that Joseph showed to his brothers. It's not typical, right? It's not what we normally experience, but that's what God's asking us to do. He's asking us to do the atypical thing, and this is something that we see that not so typical families forgive each other. Like, it sounds simple. It looks simple on a screen, but it's really hard when, and I've mentioned this in Hub before, when your 6-year-old looks up at you after he does something stupid, and he's like, "Daddy, do you still forgive me?" Like, Austin is building, and even in his little 6-year-old mind, this foundation of what is and what isn't forgivable. And as a dad, like, my reaction to how he acts is going to help or hurt that foundation of his. And yeah, look, kid, you messed up. Let's own that. But daddy still loves you, and you're still a part of this family. You're still about, and you're not kicked out, and dad loves you, and we're going to hug it out. We're going to be fine. Yeah, daddy still forgives you. And I mentioned this, back in the fall semester with you guys, and he still does that. That's still a regular thing that Austin does when he knows he's messed up, and dad's calling him out on it. Daddy, do you still forgive me? Absolutely. Like, absolutely, son. Like, dad forgives you. Sometimes I get bothered by him asking that question. Like, kid, we've covered this. I forgive you. But man, just me saying that out loud reminds me, how many times do we question, God, will you forgive me this time? Like, how many times do you sit at home wondering, man, was this the last time? And is God going to kick me out now? Is he going to disown me from the family? You know, think about this. You know, every single time God's like, no, I still forgive you. I still forgive you. And there's never a moment where God like stops chasing after you, right? So, man, I love the picture that Austin gives me pretty regularly. Not because he's a bad kid, but he's a 6-year-old that, like this morning, goober, man. Like, I don't understand. He has his bacon breakfast. He gets his little glass of milk, and then for whatever reason, immediately sticks hand in glass of milk for nothing, and like just sticks his hand in his glass of milk. Philip, I don't know why he did that. He knows not to stick his hand in his milk. He doesn't drink his milk like a dog. And I look at him like, Austin. Like, I didn't even have to say anything. He's like, Daddy, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm like, I don't want to hear you're sorry. Like, why? Like, why? Why put your hand in your milk? Like, why? So, like, I say that to say Austin knows that, Dad, I'm going to love him. I'm not going to kick him out. Not for nothing. It tastes better that way. Adam, don't encourage my son to put his hand in his milk. All right. It's not okay. Not okay. Guys, I need to have a serious talk with you though, just real quick. Okay. Let's get real serious just for a second, because I am fully aware that there may be some of you listening tonight or listening later that's going to hear any part of this series, whether it's tonight's or it's last week's, and you see something like this, that not so typical families forgive each other, and you may say, "Oh, Frank, time out. Like, I don't think you know what's happened to me. I don't think you understand what may be going on with me." So I want you to hear me say something really serious, okay? Um, if anyone in your family or anyone not in your family has hurt you or is hurting you or continues to hurt you, and that's emotionally, that's physically, that's sexually, this conversation that we're having tonight is not for you. Okay. What I mean by that is God's not telling you to move on. God's not telling you to be nice to them. And God's not telling you to cover up for the stuff that they're doing to you. Okay. I need you to hear that tonight, because I don't want anyone to confuse what we are saying from what we aren't saying. Um, if that's your story tonight, if your story is, Frank, I got somebody that's really hurting me, and like hurting me in a bad way, physically, emotionally, sexually, here's what I want you to do tonight. I need you, I beg you, tell an adult tonight before we get off this stream. Like, get the courage together to go tell somebody. All right. You can call me, you can text me, you can text your small group leader, tell somebody. All right. I need that to be out there because I don't want you to hear us talking about how not so typical families forgive each other and how Joseph moved on from his brothers who tried to kill him. And you over here thinking that you have to cover up for somebody who's doing things to you that no one should be doing to you. All right. So I don't want you to mishear that. And I don't want you to think I'm saying something that I'm actually not saying. Okay. That's not your story, though. If you're not in that group that I just talked about, if you're just, hey Frank, right now, like nothing like that's happening to me right now. I'm having fights with my sister, or my mom's just driving me crazy with how much she's on me about cleaning my room. Like, it's my room. I do what I want in my room. I don't have to clean my room. Like, get out of my room, mom. Like, if you wouldn't stay in my room so much, you wouldn't know how dirty it is. Like those kind of things. Don't ever say that to your mom, by the way. That'll get you kicked out real quick. Okay. Bad move there. Or if you're my sister and didn't want to clean your room, dad just took the door off and he's like, okay, cool. You don't want to clean your room? Don't have a door. I can't wait to maybe pull that off with one of my sons. I hope I never have to because that would just stink. But that whole like not having a door, it'll wake you up. All right. So if that part's more your story where it's just, as I would qualify as this kind of normal family tension, just some things to encourage you with, man. Forgiveness doesn't have to be complicated. All right. Not so typical families learn how to talk it out. Not so typical families learn how to express their emotions in a healthy way. And I get it, guys. Listen, I've told you this before from my upbringing. Talking to my dad and trying to learn how to express those emotions are hard. And you might be in a case where, like, you don't feel like you have the full freedom to speak your mind or to be as honest as you want to be. And it takes time and it takes growth and character and tact and a whole lot of stuff to be able to stand up to your parents, to express yourself in a way that you can feel heard, but also not be disrespectful. But forgiveness doesn't have to be complicated, right? Doesn't have to be. Admit that you've been hurt. Admit that what they said or what they did, like, hey, that hurt me at a soul level right there, and I don't really know how to deal with that. Can we talk this thing out and have that conversation, and then ask God and start praying, hey Lord, start helping me heal, and then also work in the heart of the person who said that thing or who did that thing that may not even realize that what they said or did was offensive or that hurt me. So help them as well. All right. Let's do a quick recap just so you know, like, where we've been the last few weeks. All right. Not so typical families are often used by God. Listen, you are not left hopeless. Okay. No matter what kind of family you come from, no matter how you guys struggle, or no matter how great you guys succeed, like whatever the dynamic is, um, God uses families from all different stories, right? I mean, just the ones that we looked at in Genesis, you would say these are way too big of a hot mess for God to do anything great with. And wow, he did some great stuff with. But also, not so typical families, they take care of each other, they pray for each other, which can be awkward and can be weird, but also tremendous blessing to not just the person who's doing that act, but also the one who receives it. Last week we talked about not so typical families have tough talks. You guys talk it out and you have tough conversations. And um, something that I'm trying to grow in my boys to know that you can talk to dad about anything, and I'm not going to freak out unless you did what Lewis did today. I might freak out. So can I tell this story? I think I can tell this story. I got to tell this story. All right, this is great. Here's what's really funny. When I have the boys all by myself, when it's just me, Austin, and Lewis, they are like awesome. I mean, they're so good. And I think they save up all of their bad behavior or misbehavior for Paige when she just has them. So I'm at the office today. I'm doing church stuff, right? And Paige and the boys are at the house, and she sends me a text that says, hey, Frank, guess what? Lewis went to the potty today. So we're potty training Lewis. He's my youngest. He's 2. And he did some monkey business. And by monkey business, I mean he did number 2 in the bathroom. But instead of doing that in the toilet where he's supposed to do it, he did it beside the toilet and was so proud that he did it beside the toilet. He then took it to mom to show him that he did it beside the toilet. And not only did he take it to mom to show her what he had done, he then gave her a great big hug. After he wore paint, painted his face with said deed. So Yeah. So he was so proud. And again, I did this to him. I named him Lewis, which in French means warrior. So he came out of that bathroom so proud with war paint across his face, which was not war paint. And then also showed my mom, look what I did. And then gave her a great big hug. And yeah, so that's what he did. Not so typical families. They have tough conversations and they learn how to talk things out, even when they do gross stuff like that. Um, that's right, Eli. War poop, man. It's awesome. And I sent Paige a message back. I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, I never have these great stories when they're with me. And I tried to frame it in a way of, man, they save all the excitement for you. She's like, I swear they do it on purpose. They just save all this stuff up just for me. It's awesome. I'm so proud of him, by the way. Like, deep down inside as a dad, I'm like, my man, love it. So good. And here's the last thing, just a reminder, not so typical families learn how to forgive, just like Paige had to learn how to forgive her youngest son and remind herself and him that she does, in fact, love him. All right. Even when he does stuff like that. Hey, guys, the big point of it, don't be typical, right? Do the hard right thing, not the easy wrong thing. Just if you got a problem with somebody in your house, if you got an issue, don't let bitterness, don't let that emptiness grow inside your heart. Take care of it. All right. Again, it's the hard right thing. It's not going to be easy all the time, but it is the right thing to do. It's far easier to do the hard wrong thing. All right. So I know, Kehan, mothers always seem to be the ones that get the crazy stuff like that. I know, which again, I'm thankful for. All right. That's awesome. Hey guys, let me do this. Let me pray for us. And then we got a few minutes. If you want to hang out and chat, you can do that. But let me pray for us before we end tonight. God, thank you for who you are. Thank you for a constant reminder all throughout Scripture that you love us, that God, you are in constant pursuit of us, that you have such um, great desire to see us come into a relationship with you and to see how that relationship can take us to be used for your kingdom. And God, that we're never too far lost. That we see these families in Genesis and throughout the rest of the Bible that just seem like an epic mess, and yet you're able to still do good in that. So, Lord, we thank you for that. I hope it's a reminder for our students, whoever's watching tonight, that their family's not too messed up for God to do something great with, and that He's already in the process of doing something great with them. And maybe it's just waiting for them, for one of our students to take that first step. So, God, would you encourage your people? Would you encourage and lift up your families here at Calvary and within the hub that are hurting right now, or are struggling, or just are going through some moments with their family? Would you lift them up tonight and help them to deepen their trust and their faithfulness into you, and allow you to work a good situation out of something that seems bad or painful? Um, so anyhow, God, we love you. We pray these things in your son's name. Amen. So, hey guys, I don't want you to miss a really great opportunity. We have the Michael King in the room tonight. He just kind of stumbled in here, just kind of hung around and stayed. So, oh, that's right. You don't like this. You don't like where this is going at all. So, Bella Perry, if you got a question you want to ask Michael that you've been asking us, or any of you other guys, Miles or whoever else is here, if you want to ask a really tough question to Michael King, now is your chance to do that. Or ask him any old thing or something. But Michael's here. If you want to ask Philip, he's here too. Anything you want to say to these guys, they're here. We won't put a mic on them necessarily, but yeah, you might not get this opportunity again. Well, it's Michael said they don't deserve that. It's not. I mean, there is a mic right here, but it's so hard. Like I'd have that is not how I meant it. All right. They're not worthy enough to speak on their own. I'll have to talk for them, but
Wow, that's harsh. That is harsh.
Adam coming out swinging off the top rope. Oh, that's great. I think it's a different Michael King. I think it's a different Michael Adam. He said, "Man, that's harsh." What's your favorite episode of Star Wars? That is, oh man, favorite episode. Which one, Michael? Which one? And he is having a tough time with this, all right? You can't see his face, but I can, and he is. Oh, you guys are not gonna like this.
It's
All right.
The Last Jedi.
The Last Jedi, number 8. Is that right? Whew. Okay, that's his favorite one. Moreland Last Jedi. I don't know what that does for the rest of you guys. For all you other Star Wars fanatics, you may have just unfriended Michael, but that's okay. We can learn to forgive. That's what not so typical families do.
Favorite story from history.
All right. So there's that one. Bella Perry asked Frank, what is his favorite story from history? Ooh. So like a historical event kind of a thing that you're like, I really like this thing. Bella has been asking harder questions every week. And
Also, you can let Sarah know that she is incorrect.
8 is the worst out of the 9. Hey, Sarah, you know what? I validate your feelings. And I agree that it's also the worst equally with all Star Wars episodes. Okay. Equally.
You can tell Eli my answer is last Wednesday.
Last Wednesday, Eli, you asked the question, Gamer Smith. Man, I don't even see his question anymore.
On a scale of 1
Oh,
to
there it
10.
is. Okay. Scale of 1 to 10. What's your favorite color of the alphabet?
Last Wednesday.
Last Wednesday. Interesting. Okay.
Favorite story from history.
Yeah. Sarah says, I'm going to pretend you didn't say that. I know, guys, listen, I tried to watch the Star Wars. I even got hooked up with a Disney Plus subscription to be able to watch them.
Someone gave you.
Yes, somebody did. And I watched, I think I watched 2 like complete things, but halfway through the second one, I text Michael that this is literally killing me, and I still have an hour and a half left. I never made it past
There
the.
are 2 pretty bad.
Yeah. I mean,
It's probably the worst.
it was so hard. It was so hard. I'm trying. She's unfriended, blocked. Oh, come on, guys! Like, give me another chance. Multiple times over. How do you not like them? See, Moreland, that's a great question. I asked that same question just differently of you guys. How do you like them? Like, I just can't. Here's why. I never got to see them in my youth. That's one of my problems. Thing I wasn't really allowed to watch. So never got to see them young. So by the time I really realized I had never seen any Star Wars, I was well into college, probably past college, and I didn't just care at that point. I'm like, whatever, you know. So never really developed never felt an emptiness that I was missing something. Um, Kean said I could not watch what Disney did to Star Wars. It's funny. Which one did you start with? I started with 4.
You did it the right way.
Yeah, I did them the right way. I was trying to go 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9. Hey, I know enough to kind of sort of get by in a conversation. All right. Plant, Michael. What's your favorite plant?
Favorite plant? Succulents.
Favorite plant. Yes. That's great. It's a flower, right? No.
They're like little green shrub looking things.
Look.
Eucalyptus is like a succulent.
Oh, okay.
No, say like anything maple.
Michael said he likes anything maple. All right. Anything maple.
Favorite moment from history.
He is still struggling with his favorite moment from his. Okay, he's got it narrowed down to 2 if you're still tracking with this.
It's either
This is great.
the diet of worms.
Okay, the diet of something.
Worms.
Worms. Okay, the diet of worms.
Or the coronation of the current queen.
Or the coronation of the current queen. Interesting. Bella, I'll let you go and start researching what those 2 things are. Something with worms.
The diet of worms. But it's spelled worms, but it's a German.
Oh, it's the diet of worms, but it's spelled worms because it's German. All right, and then the that long word of the current queen. The coronation. Kehan. Yeah. Oh, by the way, shout out to Kehan, recent graduate. Congratulations. Good job graduating.
Tell Kehan of those 3.
Okay.
Probably Naruto.
Keehan, of those three, probably Naruto.
but I'm more a Yu Yu Hakusho or Full Metal Alchemist guy.
But he's more of a Full Metal Alchemist guy. He's more of that. This is great because y'all are speaking language I have no idea. Yeah, big shout out to all of our seniors: Keehan, Brantley, Hunter, who graduated college and is now in Nashville doing awesome nursing stuff at St. Thomas Hospital outside of Nashville. Yeah, some good stuff. Let's see. Wow, I'm sorry, but Frank's answer from last week is still a better plant. What did I say? What did I say last week? I don't even remember what I said last week. I'm not real sure.
I'm an indoor kid.
Yeah.
I'm a music guy. I'm like nature is dumb.
He's like nature's dumb. I don't know. Yeah, that was good. I did not. Yeah, I see. Any other good questions for Michael? Like,
I made a friend
Eh. any other? Oh, Willow Tree. Yeah, that is. Yeah, I do like. Man, that is such a my dream one year. Not even a day, because this thing is like decades in the future, is to have a little pond with a little island out in the middle with just a willow tree on it. That's all. Just a pond
on the pond.
in the island. Yeah.
Oh, on the
Yeah.
used to get that.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
it's
Like Pocahontas.
Grandmother Willow.
Pretty much. Yep. Just like Pocahontas. Yep. There he is. For Michael, Brotherhood or the original? Y'all are speaking some sort of. I have no idea what any of this is, and it's fascinating to me. I have no idea. Moreland, to answer your question on a personal note, I prefer the Chick-fil-A nuggets over the sandwich because I don't like biting into food. I prefer stuff that's already bite size. So I'm going to go nuggets all day, every day, unless I'm having a sandwich at home, in which I will eat with a fork and knife. Yeah, it's good stuff. If I could just get them to melt cheese on the nuggets the way they do the sandwich, oh, that would be awesome. All right. But I will tell you, a spicy chicken sandwich with pepper jack cheese and a pickle is some sort of amazing. If you want to add bacon, even better. But Moreland, the most important question is, what do you prefer from the Chick-fil-A? Is it the nuggets or is it the sandwich? What do you prefer? Who eats a sandwich with a fork, Frank? Frank eats a sandwich with a fork. I ate a pizza with a fork. I ate a sandwich with a fork. I used to eat apples at school with a fork. I mean, I eat everything with a fork. Everything. Keehan, Michael's coming back at some point.
Yeah, it's Brotherhood. I'll give you the reason if you can remember. Oh, stop.
Brotherhood. He said Brotherhood, and he is typing a reason why. It must be really good. Sandwich with extra pickles. Yeah, you gotta. Yes, Gamer Smith. Pineapple, or not pineapple. that's awful. Pizza, apples, everything with a fork. Guys, there are some moments. Look, I've been here 5 years now. You're not getting rid of me, right? I mean, you guys, you're not. I'm here. I'm stuck. So love me for all of my faults. But the other night, I was having some barbecue chips, and those burgers were good. But it was the bottom of the bag of the barbecue chips, so where they're like really, really small. And I straight up got a cereal spoon out of the drawer, and I hammered some barbecue chips with a spoon. It was amazing. It was so good. And my hands were clean. I was able to still navigate my YouTube watching. It was great. So don't hate. I had chips with a spoon, man. It was awesome. If you can eat cereal with a spoon and not get judged, why can't I have chips with a spoon? It's practically the same thing. Okay, it's crunchiness. I mean, it's practically the same thing. Adam says, there are so many things wrong with you. I know, right? I know. And yet I still found somebody to love me. And she loves me in spite of all of myself. It's good stuff. There are so many things wrong with me. Yep. Hey, Keehan, you're the one who eats fried spam. All right. Now, granted, you brought that on the junior senior retreat, and admittedly, it wasn't that bad. But I mean, it is fried Sam. So I know, Tennyson. The fact that I just agree with it, I just own it. I'm weird. I'm quirky. I'm okay with it. I was actually quite proud of myself in that moment because my hand stayed clean and it was great. I'm like, this is so good. How about you eat the bottom of the bag chips where they're too small to like grab? Oh, you turn the bag up and
Amazing that both of us did that.
yeah.
Synchronicity.
Never really thought about that because
No thought.
just turn back up. I cut the bag and the spoon.
So you
You roll the bag.
And then you can make fun of the end.
There are so many things I have not learned in
Same
life.
thing with like when you get to the bottom of like Chick-fil-A fries.
Oh, okay.
Tip that.
Huh.
Yeah, those go.
Interesting.
Or like if you have nuggets from there, there's
Oh.
like all those little fried bits that fall off.
Mhm.
You gotta
Ooh,
tip that.
you
You
get
gotta tip that.
interesting. Oh man, Gamer Smith, Friends, final answer. I'm.
friends with us.
Oh, Friends.
Oh, okay, there it is. Friends or that '70s show. Ooh, man, that's tough. That's tough. All right, here's what I'll say. I'm gonna say that '70s show
Wow.
because I think collectively I've seen more minutes of that show than I have of Friends. Notice I said minutes and not episodes. That's important. Not really watched any of them, but I enjoyed the family humor of that '70s show a little bit more than Friends. Didn't really care for Friends. I'm like, y'all are all really weird.
We were out of break.
I
Joke breakfast again.
had no idea what she's talking about.
Shocking. Yes.
Hey.
Adam's like taking batting practice right now with a really bad pitcher. And like everyone is just out.
My mom and dad didn't do me any favors when it came to what they let me watch and didn't watch. So Frank, you've answered every question wrong tonight. You know, at least I'm consistent. Eli, that's pretty funny. You've answered every question wrong tonight. You're not wrong. I probably have.
I think Adam can hear me.
You guys are throwing softballs to Michael. That's really funny. Oh man. All right, last chance before he said yes. It's great. Adam has that supersonic hearing. All right. But hey, atypical families forgive. Thank you, Tennyson, for bringing me back into the family. Appreciate that. I can get all the questions wrong tonight and do all the things backwards. And here is the last good question for Michael. That's a good scene, but my favorite's wins. Ooh. Here we go. Prince or MJ? Not the Michael Jordan.
See, when I read that, I've read Michael Jordan. So
I mean, Bella, do I not get to answer that question, or is that just Michael because he's more of a music nerd than I am? I feel offended by that. But what's really funny, you can't see his reaction. He's having a hard time with this one. And to me, this is super easy. Like, I have no.
It's not like who's like better in the world.
Right.
It's like who's my favorite.
See, Michael's doing something that he doesn't normally do. He is actually thinking of what does he actually enjoy here. He's very much just, whether I like it or not, worldwide, this one's clearly better. But he is really trying to find that interpersonal, like, what do I like out of these two, Prince or MJ? Whew. I don't know the answer to this question for Michael, to tell you the truth. I thought I had a guess, but seeing him struggle this way, I have no idea what to think.
I'm going to give a nuanced answer.
He is going to answer that question without actually answering it, Bella. So, in general, he says
I like Michael Jackson.
he likes Michael Jackson better.
But the best of Prince is better than the best of Michael Jackson.
Oh, wow. Whoa. Controversial statement. Michael said the best of Prince is better than the best of Michael Jackson. Oh, man, that is a whole show by itself right there of talking that one through. The best Prince in his prime at his best, better than Michael Jackson at his prime. Man.
Overall,
whew,
it's Michael.
that is
When
tough.
Prince comes out in the rain at the Super Bowl and plays
Wow.
Pretender and Purple Rain
In the
with
rain.
stilettos
Yeah.
and is like killing it.
Ooh, wow.
That's cooler than anything Michael Jackson ever did.
Adam says Prince can't be stopped. I am more Prince, way better musician, because I don't know if Michael was really ever a musician, was he?
He can play play a bunch of stuff, but he's not like
Yeah, but like Prince, like phenomenal
Michael's got a
renown.
mind for it, but
Yeah.
Prince also has a mind for it, and he do it.
Yeah. Michael just lost answering privileges too. Oh, that's great. That's great. Oh man. No. Yes. This is so funny. Sorry. This is the problem with YouTube, that you can't really see what's happening in the room, but clearly something great's happening here in the room. This is awesome. But yeah, I'm more of a Prince fan because I'm more of an electric guitar solo guy, and Prince had way more electric guitar solos than Michael ever had. So, however, when Michael just did the first moonwalk live, just out of nowhere, did that Joker. It was at one of the award shows. When Michael did the first moonwalk at the award show live,
Yeah, I think
th-
it was an award show.
it was just, I mean, absolutely insane. Like, whoa, what did he just do? I mean, man, that was a tough one. That's almost like trying to,
An entertainer.
yeah,
That's great, but I'm a musician.
right. I mean, that's about as hard as LeBron and Michael, you know. I'm like,
I have new thoughts on that too. that we
Okay.
talk about with this.
yeah. But anyway. All right, dudes. It's about time for us to sign off. Eli has taken enough wrong answers tonight. His brain cannot handle any more wrong answers, and that's okay, Eli. Yeah, this will be good for you. Anyway, hey, I appreciate you guys. I do love you guys, and can't wait to see you again. Maybe I'll run into you at a gas station like I did one of ours earlier today, and that would be awesome if that happens. If not, I might just come hang out in your front yard, and I'll text before I come, and we'll set out chairs, and we'll just sit for a minute, kick a ball, something like that. I don't know. But anyway, really appreciate you guys. Thanks for hanging out. We will start a new series next week, hopefully with some new gear, with a whole new look, maybe a whole new set. Maybe none of this will be behind me next week, and that would be awesome if that's the case. So anyhow, if you haven't sent me your video yet and you know who you are, get that to me tonight or tomorrow. Tomorrow, you guys will get to hear from the one and only Emma Elder. She is going to give our Instagram devotional tomorrow, but who will be Friday? That's up to you guys. We'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.